Yo, 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 what's good, family? Welcome to PNP. Man, listen, I'm Rashad, one half of PNP. My co-host is Dave. He's the fantasy guy. So listen, if you're new here, welcome. Hit that subscribe button for your boy. We're trying to get to 50,000 subscribers before the end of the year. Right now, we're at 10K. We got a long way to go, so help us get there, all right? But first of all, I want to say welcome to the Seahawks fans, welcome to the Rams fans, welcome to the 49ers fans, and welcome to the Cardinals fans. Man, hit that subscribe button for your boy. It's a lot of good information here. I know if you scroll around the channel, you're going to see a ton of Panthers content, but that's okay. We got a lot more content coming for you guys, and we probably got some film reaction videos for one of your prospects that you just drafted. So make sure you hit the subscribe button. A lot of good data for you, all right? That being said, man, we're going to rank the draft classes. I think the NFC West had a really, really bad draft class overall. It's some bad draft classes in this joint. I'm just going to be honest with y'all. Not the best. I think if I had to rank the actual, all the divisions, this would probably be towards the bottom. I'm just going to be honest with y'all. But I'm going to rank them worst to best. Here we go. Let's get into it. All right, let's get it cracking with the Seattle Seahawks, man. Not much to review as you only have 3 picks. You didn't have a first-round pick because you traded for Jamal Adams prior to the 2020 season, so there's no first-round pick. But you went with Dwayne Eskridge in the second round, and this is probably listen. I need to do everything I can do to make sure that my franchise quarterback is happy. And if he wanted a receiver, then you get him a receiver. If he wants an offensive lineman, you get an offensive lineman. I think he wants to be protected at this point. So I probably would have went with the best offensive lineman available. You didn't do that. You went with Eskridge. Again, you're adding to that wide receiver group. I mean, you got DK Metcalf, bunch of good receivers. I think this dude is a Swiss Army knife, and he is a problem. I do like Dwayne Eskridge as the player. I'm not sure the value was there, though. I think you probably could have got him a little bit later. And I think you have bigger needs. So that's just my opinion. Not too cool. Not that I'm not too happy about that one. All right, next up you got Trey Brown. Again, you lost up Shaquille Griffin in free agency, so you definitely needed some more cornerback help. This dude is more of a nickel guy, so I'm not quite. Listen, I don't know about this pick either. I think when you got him, there were better options on the board. So you got him in the 4th round. There were definitely some better options on the board right there. Tay Gowan is probably one of them who went to the Cardinals. But it is what it is. You took him. I don't know. Question marks. So then you picked up Stone Forsythe. Listen, I think this was actually a solid pick. I like Stone Forsythe a lot. And you got him in the 6th round, I think, which is a steal. I think it's a steal for Stone Forsythe. I think he can sit for a year, sitting behind Dwayne Brown. Then he can come off the bench and potentially be a left tackle of the future. So he's a big dude, 6'8", really, really tall, big guy. So I like him. I think he could maybe compete for right tackle. We'll see what happens. But that is my favorite pick. My head scratcher pick, you got 2 of them. That's going to be Trey Brown and Eskridge. Worst pick, probably going to be Eskridge because it's where you got him. It's not the player. It's where you got him. So I'm a bit confused on that one. But the Seahawks, this grade is not good. I'm going to go ahead and give y'all a D. This draft, again, you don't have many picks. And the 3 you got were kind of, 2 of them were questionable where you got them as far as value. And then Stone Forsythe kind of made up for it a little bit, but this draft is not good. All right, next up we have the San Francisco 49ers. Man, listen, the San Francisco 49ers, after all the hoopla and the shenanigans going on with Mac Jones potentially going to the 49ers, you ended up landing on Trey Lance, which I think is a great quarterback for your system. I don't know about Justin Fields. I don't know what happened with Justin Fields. I don't know why you don't like Justin Fields. But if you're going to go with a quarterback non-Justin Fields, it had to be Trey Lance. He's got a big arm. He's got really good mobility. Again, you can question the talent level he played against and blah, 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 blah. I don't care about none of that. He played well with the talent that was across from him and who he played with. So I think he played well with what he had. Really good player. I love Trey Lance, the player. I think he's going to be very good in that system. And I think, personally, my personal opinion is that Trey Lance will be the most successful quarterback in this draft. He will be when it's all said and done, because of the system he's going to, because he's playing under Kyle Shanahan. This is going to be the best quarterback from this class when we look back on it. Just my opinion. You can talk. I know the individual talent for Trevor Lawrence is great, but it matters where you go. When you need some support, you need some help. Nobody has as much help as Trey Lance does. So I'm going with Trey Lance. I think he's going to have the best career for this draft class. Just me personally. All right, moving on. Aaron Banks. Not really a fan of this pick. I think there were better guards there when you took him. So I'm not really a fan of this pick. I think Wyatt Davis is better. But outside of that, I'm gonna scratch my head on this one. But it's solid. Not too crazy. But I would have went elsewhere here. Trey Sermon, you picked him up again. You probably needed a running back. You got a stable guys. I think you need to get somebody back that's going to be back there for a long time. So I think you drafted Trey Sermon. This is a really good pick. Trey Sermon, he doesn't have a lot of tread on the tires. Solid guy out of Ohio State by way of Oklahoma. So good players, got good burst, good vision. I like this cat. He's going to develop a little bit. I'm not a fan of taking running backs that high. You got him late in the third, so it's not too bad. So I'm not going to kill the pick too much. But if you're going to take one, Trey Sermon is a solid one to take. Next up, Ambry Thomas out of Michigan. I'm not a fan of this pick. I think that you could have done better elsewhere. There were better cornerbacks at the time you took this cat. And I think he's more of a I'm not sure. I don't know. I haven't seen a ton of him play, so I'm not going to sit here and speak and as if I know him as a player, because I don't really know him much. But I know that there were better options on the table at the time you took him. Then next up, you got Jalen Moore, offensive tackle out of Western Michigan. Listen, I think you could use a tackle. Not too sure about this cat. Again, haven't watched a ton of Western Michigan. I have watched some Dwayne Eskridge film, but I'm not familiar with this cat, Jalen Moore. So I can't really speak to him. I thought there may have been some better options when did you take him? You took him in the 5th round. At this point, that's kind of what you get. So it's not a terrible pick, but it is what it is. Demondre Lenore, I think this is a decent pick. I think he's more of a slot guy. We'll see what happens. Again, I don't know, but again, at this point in the draft, it is what it is. So that's just kind of what you're getting. I thought maybe there were some better cornerbacks. A guy like Tay Gowan. I think you did need some cornerback depth, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that pick either. That's a kind of a head scratcher as well. Next up, you picked up Talanoa Hufanga, who I like. I like this cat because he is a hybrid guy. I am familiar with this dude. He's a hybrid safety / linebacker who you got for a steal. It's pretty good guy. He can play linebacker. He can play safety. You can kind of put him in as all over the field. He'll be fine. I think he's going to end up being a linebacker at the end of the day, just because his speed and fluidity. I don't know if he can play a legit box safety. I'm not sure if he has it. But I like this pickup. It's a really good pick. He has some injury concerns, so we'll see what happens. Then you added Elijah Mitchell. Again, I'm not too familiar with this cat, but he did run a 4.340 at the pro day. He's an explosive guy. I'm not too familiar with that zone read scheme. You should be fine. You should be fine. I don't know too much about this cat, but overall, man, I think I like this draft. It's very solid draft. At the top, there's some question marks. I question Aaron Banks. I question a couple guys value-wise, but I'm gonna give this a solid B. I'm gonna give it a solid B for the San Francisco 49ers. Number one, you didn't pick up Mac Jones, so that just elevates your draft grade off the rip. So I love that. I love the Trey Lance pick. That's gonna be your best pick. Couple question marks as far as where you took some guys. So solid draft overall. All right, next up we have the Arizona Cardinals. Okay, Cardinals had a solid draft. Starting off with Zaven Collins. Listen, Zaven Collins, I think it was a bit of a reach here. Especially where'd you pick? 16th overall. That's a bit of a reach. I thought there were I think you're going to have to figure it out with him. Because what makes me pause a little bit on this is that you had Hassan Reddick, who was a bit of a tweener. Very similar to what Zaven Collins is. He's outside linebacker / edge rusher / go on and go on and go on. It took you 4 years, and I know you had coaching changes and whatnot, but it took you some time to figure out how to use him. And once you got him in the right place, he went off. Now, are you looking for that replacement? Maybe, and sure, you might have gotten him. I think it was a bit of a reach here. That's just my opinion. But if you got your guy, you got your guy. So, but I'm scratching my head a little bit on that one. Not quite sure if that was the best pick there, 16 overall. Coming in the second round, you got Rondale Moore. Listen, I love this pick. I love Rondale Moore as a player. Listen, you got a lot of weapons, okay? There's a lot of weapons out there, a lot of mouths to feed. However, I will say you probably could have went cornerback here. I probably would have went cornerback here over Rondale Moore, but I love Rondale Moore, the player. He's got some injury concerns, but I do like the pick. But you got another receiver. I mean, you got guys coming in and out of the door there. I don't know about that. If you can keep him around, if you can stick, sure, but we've seen, I know you guys have seen a lot of guys come in and come out and fizzle. So I'm not quite sure about that pick there, although I do like Rondale Moore, the player. Next up, Marco Wilson. Marco Wilson, I think, had an excellent combine, pro day. And he's got a ton of upside. This cat, I know he had the shoe throwing incident, but this cat is athletically gifted. And if he can put it together, if he can get the mental aspect of the game right, I think he's going to be really good. You guys need a cornerback help. You got it. I think a little late, but I'm not mad at the Marco Wilson pick. In fact, I wanted the Panthers to pick him, and we didn't. So good pick up there. Next up, you got Victor Dimguch. I don't know how to say it. I ain't going to say it. Edge rusher out of Duke. Really not too familiar with this cat. I don't know. I don't know. Outside linebacker type. I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure about this one. I thought there were probably better edge rushers there. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that pick. I don't got much to say. Ted Gowan. I love this pick. Ted Gowan. This is a steal right here. Shout out to Ted Gowan, man. This guy is a guy that he's been working hard, bro. I've been watching him. I almost had him on the show. Couldn't quite get it to work out. But this dude is a good player. And he's hungry, man. He's got a different mindset. He's doing things the right way. He works hard. Probably should have went probably in the third, maybe fourth round. You guys got him, in the sixth, seventh round. So really good pick. I think it's great value here. So I'm not mad at that. Great pick. Add to that cornerback room. It needs help. It's a big cornerback, so I like it. James Wiggins is another steal here that I like. Listen, this dude probably could have been drafted much higher. He had an ACL injury in 2019, and his tape kind of fell off in 2020. That's why he fell to round 7. But you got to fix the secondary. You're taking a stab at it. I think it was solid. Not mad at that pick. And then Michael Minette, center out of Penn State. Honestly, I'm not familiar with this cat, so I can't really speak to it. And this is kind of what you get when you're talking about 7th round picks. So I'm not really familiar with this. All right, so as for the draft, I got to give you guys a solid C, man. I think this class, there's a couple reaches here. I think Zaven Collins is a reach. If it works out, great. But in my opinion, it's a bit of a reach at 16. Rondale Moore, I think y'all could have went elsewhere. You got a ton of wide receivers already. Marco Wilson, I like that pick. I think Ted Gowan is a steal. That's why I'm propping it up a little bit. It's not quite a D. And James Wiggins, I think, could work out. But overall, it's a lackluster draft for me. I'm not really seeing any guys that's going to come in and be playmakers off the top. And so maybe Zaven Collins if you can figure it out early. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. He doesn't. I mean, you got J.J. Watt and all that too. So I think he's got a good mentor. So we'll see what happens. But overall, C draft for the Cardinals. All right, next up we've got the Los Angeles Rams. Didn't have a first-round pick, so you decided to go with Tutu Atwell, wide receiver out of Louisville, in the second round. And I don't like this pick. I thought you skipped over some solid talent. One being Terrence Marshall. You skipped over him to take a Tutu Atwell. I think there's a spot for him, Tutu Atwell, but I don't know that it was in the second round. A bit of a reach there for me. Maybe you find something in him that others don't see. Stafford is going to get a playmaker, but I don't know that I would have taken him there at that particular point in the draft. But next up, another head scratcher, Ernest Jones, linebacker out of South Carolina. You took him over Jabril Cox, Baron Browning, Cam McGrone. This one is a head scratcher for me. I don't get it. Limited athlete. Bad pick. Really bad pick. Bobby Brown is who you got next. Inside defensive lineman out of Texas A&M. I do like this pick. This is a good pick. You pair him up with Aaron Donald, and you got some problems. This dude is disruptive in the SEC. Decent pass rusher. Is a big man. I like this pickup a lot. I also like your next pick, Robert Rochelle, cornerback out of Central Arkansas. Excuse me. He's got good size, decent ball skills. I think he's a good fit in that defense, and I like this pick. This is a good pick. A couple guys I probably would have taken over Rochelle, but I'm not mad at that pick there. Next up, you got Jacob Harris. Again, more wide receivers. I think there were better players out there, especially at positions of needs. But you never know. I think it's not good value here. There were better guys I would have taken, and I'm honestly not too familiar with the Jacob Harris, so I can't really speak to it that much. Then you got Ernest Brown, edge rusher out of Northwestern. The developmental guy, not too familiar with him. And listen, you got him in the what? You got him in the 5th round. Probably some better options there at the time you took him. It is what it is. And then you picked up Jake Funk, a running back out of Maryland. I think you got a lot of running backs already. I don't know. You guys are adding a lot of special teams guys. I have no clue what's going on with the Rams draft. This entire draft is head scratching. Add Ben Skolnick in there, wide receiver. No clue. Chris Garrett, outside linebacker out of Concordia St. Paul. No clue. Okay, so I don't know about this draft, and this draft is very, very perplexing. I also, just for overall grade, I'm giving this one a D, man. You had some decent draft capital. You didn't have a first round pick, but you had some in the second, and I think you reached on a lot of guys, man. A lot of guys. You reached on Tutu Atwell. You reached on Ernest Jones. And then when you got later in the day 3, those are all. I mean, Bobby Brown was a good pick. Rochelle was a good pick. Jacob Harris is an pick. But everything else after that was head scratching. So not too impressed with this draft at all, man. Again, I don't think the Rams maneuver through the draft like that. I think there's a lot of guys that they just go out and get, and then they just ball out. So especially they work well in free agency. So we'll see what happens. New quarterback. Didn't give him much to work with. You gave him Tutu Atwell, but you got talent there, so it shouldn't be a huge issue. But man, a lot of wasted draft capital, in my opinion. All right, you see me go through each draft class. Now it's time to rank them from worst to best. And coming in at number 4, I have the Seattle Seahawks. Listen, Seattle, I think they did a decent job given what they had. They only had 3 picks. You picked up Eskridge. I would have not taken him there. I think you could have got Eskridge a little bit later. And maybe acquire some more picks, maybe maneuver a little bit more. They didn't do that. They picked up 3. They had 3 picks, and they used the first one on Eskridge, and I don't like that. You've already got DK Metcalf. You've got Tyler Lockett. Yes, he's going to be the third wheel on that, and I think it's a great third wheel to have. But at the same time, I probably would have went elsewhere. I do like the Stone Forsythe pick. I think that was great value to get Stone Forsythe late as you did. So I do like that pick, but to only have 3 picks, I don't know, man. I'm not too sure about that. So that's why you're coming in at number 4. All right, coming in at number 3, we have the Los Angeles Rams. Okay, you went with Tutu Atwell with your first pick. I don't know. Maybe it's a scheme thing. He's going to fit what you guys want to get accomplished, but I'm not sure if he's the guy I would have picked. Is he going to be the same kind of threat Brandon Cooks was? I don't know. But you pair him up, Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp. Maybe it works out. I'm not quite sure. I honestly don't know if that's going to work, but I would not have taken Tutu Atwell there where you took him. So you get knocked a little bit there. I do. And I'm also not a fan of the Ernest Jones pick. I think that was a really bad pick as far as linebackers go. Not a fan of that pick whatsoever. I think if you're going to go with the linebacker, you could have got somebody else. You passed on Jabril Cox, passed on a couple of guys. I would have taken somebody else other than Ernest Jones, but maybe he fits what you guys want to accomplish. I'm not saying that he doesn't fit your scheme. I don't know that to be true, but I would have went elsewhere from a talent perspective. Bobby Brown, I like that pick a lot. I do like Robert Rochelle. So you did make up for it a little bit later, so that's why you're not 4. But coming in at number 3, I think that's solid for you guys. Next up, number 2, I have the Arizona Cardinals. I think they did a decent job. With the first round pick, a slight reach on Zaven Collins, like I said earlier. But, it is what it is. I think if you can unlock him earlier than you unlocked Hassan Reddick, then I think it could pay off for you guys. But it is what it is. And you pair him up with Chandler Jones and J.J. Watt. I think you could be good, a nice little rotational piece for you guys. So not mad at that at all. Rondale Moore, listen, the rich get richer. You guys stay picking up wide receivers. And again, because you guys have so many receivers, I don't know that I would have used my second-round pick on him. But he is talented. I do like Rondale Moore a lot. I'm a fan of him. I just don't know that if I would have taken him there. Then you picked up Marco Wilson. Very solid pick. I like that a lot. James Wiggins, another guy I like. So you started to make up for it a little bit later in the draft. So you're not the worst of the worst, but I think it's a very solid draft because of the value you got later. Again, the first 2 picks I didn't like that much, but you made up for it a little bit later. And coming in number 1, I have the San Francisco 49ers. Listen, they had a great draft at the top. You went with Trey Lance. And again, you got to be at the top of the division just because you didn't pick Mac Jones. That's first of all, because you had me nervous for a second. Y'all thought y'all was going to go Mac Jones. It didn't happen. You took Trey Lance, and I like it a lot. So I'm a fan. He's going to work well if you guys put him behind Garoppolo, or even if you get rid of Garoppolo, putting him out there in that system, he's going to eat. He's going to be really good. But I didn't like the Aaron Banks pick. I thought you could have went with another guard. I know he's a mauler type, may fit your system, and it may be a system thing, but I think there were better options for you guys at guard. Ambry Thomas, not really familiar with him. And Talanoa Hufanga, I do like that pick. He's probably going to start being a special teams guy. Box safety type, he's definitely not going to be a free. Can't have him in the backfield. But overall, I do like the draft. It was a solid draft for you guys, again, starting off with Trey Lance. So that being said, guys, man, that is my rankings for the NFC West. I think overall, you guys didn't do the best job from a division perspective. But that being said, the division always going to be competitive at the end of the day. You guys have a ton of veterans, ton of good quarterbacks in that division. So at the end of the day, the draft isn't really going to matter too much in the immediate future to the team's success. So I like what the NFC West is. It's going to be super competitive division. That being said, man, subscribe to your boy because we're going to do a lot of fantasy content, a lot more 2022 draft content, trying to get to 50K. So hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and also meet me in the comments. If you don't like my rankings, meet me in the comments and tell me why. All right. That being said, I'm out.